day to everyone. Texila International Conference is a wing of Texila American University, one of the leading medical universities in South America and the Caribbean regions. Texila e-conference has successfully conducted 10 international conferences since 2014 in various sectors like digital marketing, medicine, public health, education, management, etc. We are conducting conferences for 9 years in a row. Texila has made revolutions in the way scholars attend academic conferences and has started attract more than 8,500 participants from 80 plus different countries. Texila e-conference stands in the front row conducting virtual conferences, saving your valuable time, money, and guarantees the comfort you require. Global Digital Marketing Summit is a premier series of digital marketing conferences. It designs a significant platform for digital marketers, strategists, entrepreneurs, C-level executives, marketing specialists to meet, share insights, explore new marketing techniques, and collaborate to achieve business betterment digitally. GDMS has completed 4 editions with 3,500 participants from 16 plus countries, and this is the 5th in the series. Since digital presence becomes crucial for business to thrive, this will be a signature event in the 2022 digital world. Texila American University is one of the renowned medical universities in the Caribbean, as well as located in Guyana and Zambia. Our global process and operational offices are located in India, Mauritius, New Jersey. The huge revolution growth of technology in the past 10 years has made everything possible through the World Wide Web. About Zambia, TAU Zambia is a private medical institution that provides a wide range of career-centered medical and management programs. The university is approved by the Higher Education Authority, Ministry of Higher Education, Zambia, Health Professional Council of Zambia, and it's a member of Zambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry and International Council for Open and Distance Education. With the state-of-art infrastructure, the campus has 25,000 square feet dedicated learning space. Established in 2016, Texila has carved a niche for itself as a leading institution of higher learning in Zambia education landscape. The university offers programs such as Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery, Bachelor of Public Health, and Bachelor of Science and Project Management. And it also has a distance and combination of other learning programs that students can take up through its online learning management portals. About Guyana campus, Texila American University College of Medicine, Guyana was established on September 27, 2010 and was registered in National Accreditation Council of Guyana on 2010. The university has maintained registration with National Accreditation Council since its inspection, and currently registration is valid until 2023. And TAU started the first batch of students in Georgetown, Guyana by 2011. As the student population is increased, TAU College of Medicine extended its learning facility and infrastructure with the extended annex campus located in East Coast, Guyana, 2014. In 2017, Texila established its new campus on East Bank Demerara with a large academic space of learning facility with modern classrooms, labs, and library equipped with modern tech facilities. Texila American University has received the Green Initiative Award in 2020 by the Guyana Chamber of Commerce and Industries for the efficient green building in Guyana. So let's talk about today's session. And we have the first speaker, keynote speaker, Mr. Soma, Ganti, Managing Director and Adobe Lead, Accenture, going to present on the topic of influencer marketing and journey to Metaverse. I welcome Mr. Soma to present the topic, please.
Thanks a lot. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. I also invite my colleague Shweta. She's going to share the screen. So while I speak, so it becomes a bit easy for us to present. Can all of you see the screen as well?
Yes, sir, we can.
Thank you. Today, it's a great privilege and a great pleasure for me to present on this interesting subject called virtual influencers. It's an extended subject of influencer marketing, but also it's very important step or the next step of evolution as we enter Metaverse as the next internet. A brief introduction about myself. My name is Soma Ganti. I'm a managing director with Accenture. and also lead the Adobe capabilities from India. I have 20 plus years of experience in digital delivery and have led number of international complex projects related to enterprise, business, and experience transformation across the industries. I've worked on enterprise digital strategies and led their subsequent implementations on topics such as digital, e-commerce, sales, and marketing. Marketing transformation is my key area of expertise, and I currently lead the Adobe capability in India and also the marketing transformation that we do for clients in North America from India. That's brief about me. With that, we will go to the subject. Yeah, if you can, Shweta, please, next slide. How did the marketing evolve, and how is it very important? And to start this session, I thought I'll wear the lens of the kids, because today's kids are tomorrow's consumers. They are the decision makers for all the buying that happens in the world. So I've divided the world into two parts. Anything before 2010, I call them before digital. Anything that's after 2015, called the after digital. Let's look at the life of children before digital. They had access to what we call as an antique piece today, the analog digital TV. They had TV channels producing all the content that they can see. And they were influenced by the celebrities, like the sports personalities. I don't know if all of you can recognize some of the personalities here, but they're very popular in India, and film stars and other celebrities. That's where all the marketing money was spent, because those interactions would influence all the marketing decisions. Compare them with the kids who are born in the digital era, after digital. The kids don't relate to celebrities at all. They don't know much of these sports people and film stars, etc. They have rather significant influence with social influencers. It's because the kind of content they see, the kind of access they have to the content across the world, etc. They have a very different influence on them. Example, the small kid in this picture on the right, his name is Ryan Kazi. He has more than 30 million subscribers on his YouTube channel, and his videos are watched more than 45 billion times. That's almost 9 times the population in the world today. His videos are a blend of innocence of childhood, antics, and then cleverly blended marketing content. And Ryan is one of the biggest influencers on the kids today. Next slide, please. Ryan is one of the example of a social influencer. Like that, we have many social influencers, and the kids and teens of today can easily relate to the social influencers. Unlike celebrities, influencers are boys or girls who live next door. They post and stream activities which seem to be a day in a life for every kid or a teen. They don't indulge in continuous acts of marketing on the social presence. The social presence is all about their life, their activities, the fun, the entertainment, etc. And the marketing messages are cleverly interspersed in some of those messages very subtly. That's the reason you see here that 70% of the teens relate to the YouTubers more than celebrities. So much so that 4 in 10 subscribers actually believe that the influencer is more trusted than their own friends. That gives a great power in the hands of marketeers, because the return of investment on this influencers is significantly high, 650%. And then, even though it is formally announced that the content is sponsored, still 37% of the subscribers still enjoy it. That's the power of social influencers. Next slide, please, Shweta. Next slide, please. Now, this is giving us a significant opportunity. And before we get into the next topic, which is the virtual influencers, I want to say how the influences have changed, evolved over the era. Early 1950s, 60s, 70s, the whole marketing was done by icons, cartoons, etc. Come 90s, it was significantly done. The space was significantly occupied by celebrities like sports personalities, film stars, etc. And in the after digital world, we saw that social media influencers have become a big factor of all the marketing budget. But slowly, as we enter the 2020 and beyond, the social influencers are also giving away their space to what we call as virtual influencers. And that is the topic of today. So let me go to the next slide and explain why we are talking about virtual influencers. Next slide, Shweta. Why go virtual? It's not the process. The social influencers will continue to play a significant role, as explained earlier, in the world of marketing. But there are inherent challenges with the social influencers. Primarily because at the end of the day, social influencers are still human, and the brands have less control on the influencers, and they cannot dictate exactly what they need to post or stream. Some of the challenges are only about 14% of influencers posts are FTC compliant. And that's a big, huge problem for brands because this can lead to ethical and legal challenges. Influencer fraud is an unfortunate situation that cannot be ignored. And any hasty or erratic behavior by an influencer can have significant negative impact on the brand. Now, some of these some of these challenges can be addressed by virtual influencers because at the end of the day, virtual influencers are computer created entities. They're not real people. And thus the brands have better control and they can leverage the abilities of artificial intelligence to really listen to the feedback that's coming from the consumers and personalize the content that these virtual influencers are publishing and take the benefit of all the computer power that sits behind the virtual influencer. Though these influencers are virtual, they are nevertheless they are very popular and they have the same ability to create a trusted relationship with end consumers. Example, on the right side, you see the picture of little Michaela. She has more than 30 million followers on Instagram. People really love her, trust her. So virtual influencers are giving a tough competition to the real influencers in the world. Let's go to the next slide, please. What is the art of creating a virtual influencer? It is not purely a technical or a creative piece of work. The process of creating a virtual influencer is an art of co-creation between the brand teams, the marketing teams, the technical teams, and the creative teams. It is a carefully crafted act that takes care of all the aspects like personalization, intelligence, and legal compliance. They have to highly personalize so that the influencer gels well with the brand and the purpose of the brand. It has to be intelligent because it has to eventually relate to the consumer and build a trusted relationship with the customer. And legally compliant, of course, highly important because that's what brands strive for. And of course, the influencer that is created eventually has to be socially active to be able to create that trusted relationship and continuously get the feedback from consumers and evolve over time. So it's an act of a continuous journey. Next slide, please, Shweta. Here is an example of how one of our customers tried to create a virtual influencer. If you play the video. The video, all that it talks about is how we helped a hospitality client to create a virtual influencer. They were using social influencers earlier, but the because of all the challenges that inherently come with the social influencer, their brand team wanted to move away from a social influencer to a virtual influencer. And the journey of creating a virtual influencer, as I explained, is a co-creation of marketing, brand, creative teams, technical teams, and they managed to create a social influencer who's virtual, and then started using him as their brand ambassador on social media, and that created a significant positive impact on their sales, etc. That's what this video is all about. But in case we are, but as I told, this video is just an example journey of how one of our clients managed to create that entire journey. Or the most important aspect of, apart from creative aspect of virtual influencer, the most important aspect that the brands will have to consider is the ethical and legal angle of creating virtual influencers. If you can look at the picture on this, on the right, little Michaela, and you look at the highlighted section, you'll notice that it's clearly written that this is a robot. And that's the most important disclaimer that we need to have, because you have to remember the end consumers are building a trusted relationship with these influencers. So it's very important to clearly state that these are virtual, not real people, etc. And that's one of the most important aspect of being ethical and legally compliant. The other part is, as like any other social media influencer, they build their entire relationship based on the fact that they are not doing non-stop marketing. They're just doing regular activities, regular posts. So even the virtual influencer will have to start posting things which really mean something to the end consumer. Activities, visits, videos, etc. that really connect to the end consumer and build that trusted relationship. And the marketing messages have to be intelligently interspersed in some of these messages. They cannot be the main purpose of the influencer. So the kind of method we have as Accenture, we have realized is 6:1 is a good ratio of regular posts versus marketing posts. And also the marketing posts that are posted have to be cleverly crafted so that they don't really make it as an obvious marketing thing, right? And then make sure all the posts are done by a professional team and build those posts based on facts, based on trustworthy material. At the end of the day, the success of any influencer on social media can only last as long as the consumers trust them. And the most important aspect of the entire journey is to have the ability to have a feedback that is heard from the end consumers and acted upon. Now, let's remember, all the feedback is not going to be direct. People are going to use other social media channels to start posting their feedback. And a lot of that is structured and most of it is unstructured information. And the ability to really listen to that feedback, have a layer of artificial intelligence that understands the feedback and continuously evolve the behavior of the influencer is one of the most important aspect of making the successful journey. Let's go to the next slide. Now, why we think the future is more and more bright for the virtual influencers. As you can see, it will be very surprising to know that the engagement of the virtual influencers is actually more than their real social influencers. This is the most surprising study. And to certain studies suggest that the engagement of a real social influencer and compared to that of a virtual social influencer, the virtual social influencer is able to engage 3.5 times more than the real influencer. And that's a big revelation for the marketeers. If rightly crafted and rightly published, a virtual influencer can create much more influence on the consumers. That's the reason KFC, a globally well-known brand, has created their own virtual influencer in form of Colonel Sanders. Second one is, of course, cost saving. This is very easy to understand because the virtual influencers are not really going to charge you for anything. The brands can control all the costs related to the virtual influencers. And as we were discussing all through, the younger audience really like these virtual influencers, be it little Michaela or others. They have huge popularity. So we can use them to really connect to the next generation of our consumers. Then there is the most important aspect, which is related to control. As you can see, the level of control that the marketeers or the brands have on virtual influencers, and in terms of what content they publish, how compliant that content is going to be legally, ethically, is significantly higher. So the danger for the brand's value system is much lower with a virtual influencer as compared to a real social influencer. The other big benefit that comes with virtual influencers is you can really, it's very flexible to really customize, personalize some of these avatars to different age groups, to different uh, different ethnicity of the people, different cultures. Everything can be really easily customized, personalized, thus giving a global advantage when you're using a virtual influencer. And the last and the most important advantage, and which is our next main important topic of our discussion today, is virtual influencers are metaverse ready. Actually, we should say virtual influencers are metaverse native. As you can notice, they have the inherent advantage over the real social influencers when it comes to metaverse. Metaverse is a level playing field for all of them, and it creates a significant advantage for virtual influencers, and we'll see how in the next slide. As you know, metaverse is all about, this is where things get really very exciting. Metaverse creates an immersive experience for consumers into virtual spaces and embeds the 3D brand content. And as consumers and brands venture into metaverse, the demand for virtual influencers will multiply significantly, because all that happens in metaverse is all virtual. And metaverse allows the artificial 3D images really interact and create significant a very powerful relationship with the consumers. In that sense, virtual influencers are metaverse native. And as consumers create their own avatars in the virtual world, in the metaverse, they're going to create a significant, strong bonding between the influencers and the consumers. For example, on this picture here is a Boogeyman who has more than 3 million fans on Instagram and TikTok. And this character made a history in June 2021 by being the first virtual influencer to appear in the Fortnite game. Imagine the consumers who are also avatars on Metaverse are playing games, are doing things along with the influencers, creating such personalized relationship. The kind of influence they will have with the content that gets marketed through these influencers is very high. So this creates a great opportunity for marketeers and the rest of the world to create a powerful messaging to the end consumers. These kind of transmedia collaborations provides fans, who are consumers, with more and more opportunities to interact with influencers. And whereas, the consumers can also create their own content, thus enriching the brands, helping the brands to create a really immersive and engaging experience with consumers. So as we enter metaverse, you can clearly see the advantage the virtual influencer is going to have. So it's important that the brands start investing in this relationship, in this journey of creating virtual influencers. Let's go to the next slide. Here is a small fun read for all of you. I'll wait for a minute for you so that you can read this. This small fun read definitely resonates with a lot of us who have ever tried an Oculus or something like that. It's very difficult to get away from them once you're on them. It's very highly powerful media and is going to become a big advantage for the marketing organizations across the globe. So what is in it for us? For us as marketeers, for us as technologists, for us as creative folks, the numbers I show here are only an conservative estimate of what the future is going to look like. There's going to be a $150 billion or more market size of virtual influencers. It's a huge opportunity for all of us. And as we already see, the level of engagement of virtual influencers when compared to the real is much higher. The ability, because of their ability to customize, personalize all their messaging. The cost of really owning a virtual influencer is much lower. And the biggest good news is that more than 90% of this market is yet untapped, which means it gives anybody who enters this area the first mover advantage. High engagement and returns, low cost, and the ability to become a trendsetter. So you'll see soon that this is going to be already a lot of brands are already on engaging with virtual influencers. So this gives us a great opportunity to really take the world much more farther in the world of marketing. With this, I will pause. I'll leave the last 5 minutes for any kind of questions, etc. But this is a brief presentation I have for today. Thank you, everyone. It was very wonderful to interact with all of you and to be able to really get the, touch on one of the most important subjects that's going to influence all the marketing world. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir. And dear participants, please raise questions in the Q&A so that we can get the clarification from Mr. Soma. And also, the poll was enabled now.
Do I see the questions in the chat window?
I requested the participants to raise the questions in the chat Q&A box.
Okay.
And also, you can type the questions in the chat box. So there is one question, what you can tell us about the target audience?
The target audience for virtual influencers?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I would, it's everybody, honestly. But more so about the next generation of consumers. If you look at the Instagram post of Little Michaela, or for that matter, the Colonel Sanders of KFC, if you can visit their pages, you'll understand how well they're engaged with their consumers. Of course, it is highly tilted towards the younger generation of audience, and hence, if somebody asks me what's the target audience is going to be more and more the younger generation, and that's very positive because those are the people who are the buyers of tomorrow. Some of them are already buyers of today by influencing their parents, etc. But they're going to be the buyers of tomorrow. So it is very well connected to the target audience in that sense. Is that the question? The meaning of the question?
Sir. And I'm not seeing any questions in the Q&A session as well as in the chat box. So please, can you leave your contact email and a contact number so that if anybody having any issues, they can, or clarification required, they can contact you.
Yeah, sure. I will share it with the appropriate channel. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot.
So much.
Thanks a lot, everyone.
For your valuable contribution and time, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, sir. Take care.